Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention, just checking in. Not a huge deal going on or anything. Just enjoying the low stress MGTOW lifestyle. Um, just wanted to make a quick note about Bitcoins. As I know I'm always harping on those. But let's see, at the beginning of the year, they were about 440-ish or so. And now they are 777-ish, sitting at the high for the year, pretty much within like a dollar. So that is about a 75% increase from 440 or so. So 75% interest. That's not too bad, if you ask me. Um, I'm already too heavily invested in the stock market due to my pension fund and 401k. So it'd be crazy for me to put any more money in that. And we're sitting on the ultra highs of the market uh, with printed money from the Federal Reserve. It's all just a completely fake market. But Bitcoins, they are extremely difficult for the elites to game the system on these things, because if you want Bitcoins, you have got to buy Bitcoins, real ones, and you can't just create contracts for Bitcoins out of nothing and then sell them into the market, um, like they do with silver on the COMEX. That's the reason why they can keep the silver price in the toilet, even though the economy is going into the shitter. Um, but basically, this is a real market. If you want to push the price of Bitcoins down, you have to have real Bitcoins and sell them on an exchange in order to make that price goes down. So it's the result is this is a real market, and basically it's supply and demand, the way markets actually should be before the elites did all of their crazy money printing and economic warfare against the population of the world. So, but this is real. So, 75% increase from January of this year. It's not too shabby, if you ask me. You have to really uh, be lucky and have skills and luck in order to make those kind of returns in the regular stock market. So yeah, I'm very happy. And my pension fund and 401k pension fund, of course, sucks because it those things are always terribly managed. But 401k, mediocre. Uh, but Bitcoins, man, that makes up for everything. Even silver has just been just flatlining pretty much. I mean, it went up a little bit earlier this year, but now it's right back down. Um, but that's okay. I was able to get some cheap silver. That's good. So, other than that, just enjoying the low stress MGTOW lifestyle. Massive surplus income. Yeah, just low expenses. Single man's expenses. You can't go wrong there. Um, and I'm making good returns. If I make returns like this for maybe 2 more years, uh, I think that might be all the money I ever need if I expatriate. I'm looking at either Cambodia or Vietnam, but of course I'm going to take a vacation there just to make sure it's cool. Uh, but if I really just don't feel comfortable there, I might have to wait a while before I can retire in the U.S. So, one thing I will really miss about, if I do expatriate from the U.S., is the ability to have within arm's reach a firearm of some kind that you can grab and point and click instantly. I will definitely miss that. For example, if worse came to absolute worse, I could just put the dot right on whoever, and man, it would be a horrible, hideous thing. But it could certainly save my life. But you know, it's I've gotten good reports about Cambodia. It's a very polite society, so maybe I'll be just fine there. So, other than that, well, let's see what else. The year is just about over. I'm going to start wrapping up the year. I have a few things I like to do, such as change out all of my water jugs, refill them, just in case, because not only am I a MGTOW, I'm also a prepper. And if you're a prepper, which also adds to your low stress lifestyle, if you have like food on the shelf and silver in wherever, bitcoins and all that, and then your job becomes unstable, you just don't have the stress because you know that you're set for like a year or two if necessary. And basically, it's just a better, lower stress way to live. And then when you add the MGTOW lifestyle to that, dudes, that is just, you can't hardly get a lower stress, more stable, relaxed, frugal lifestyle than both the MGTOW lifestyle and the prepper lifestyle. So, dude, that's the way to go. Let's see, what else am I doing? I remember a year or so ago, I was having a lot of problems with. I got very thick skin on my hands because I'm a mechanic, but I was having problems like right about here. I had a nasty fungus infection, and every time I turned around and just like was working through the day, it would the skin would like split, and then it would get infected, and it was just a nasty business. If anybody has that problem, I have a fix for you. This will really knock it down. Although that stuff, I would have to like not work as a mechanic for like a year for the skin on my hands to become normal again, and then maybe I could wipe it out. But I've got this stuff right here, which is an anti-fungal. Then I basically take a Band-Aid and put a piece of paper towel on the cushion, put the Band-Aid on over this stuff, a little bit of it, then dip it in colloidal silver, and that soaks up the paper towel, and then it is applied to the skin all through the night. And I haven't had a problem with the skin on my hands splitting since I started doing that. So man, it is so worth it. It is a heck of a thorn on your side to be a mechanic and have infected split skin on your fingers. It's a drag. So that problem is pretty much solved. It just needs a little more maintenance every day is all. Other than that, I had a little idea. It was cold in my room because this big huge window, it really sucks the warm air out. So I just went to the hardware store and picked up some styrofoam insulation bats. They're about 2 or 3 inches thick, and just cut them to fit and stuffed them in there. And if I want to see what's out front, I can just turn my webcam on. So and that really takes the chill off the room. I mean, it's way more comfortable in here. So if you're, and it's the white side that's facing the street, so it just looks like a window shade to people passing by. So let's see, what else? Jeez, that's about it, guys. When your lifestyle is really set, when your expenses and everything are pretty much covered, and you've got your life planned out, and you've worked to add stability and frugality and low stress to your life, your videos become really boring because you just get pretty damn content. So I guess that's worth mentioning. So I guess that's about it. And if you guys aren't into Bitcoins yet, I would highly recommend putting some money into them. I'm not a economic advisor. I am a diesel mechanic. But that said, I am certainly doing it. For example, I was during my little vacation to Crater Lake in Montana this summer, Bitcoins just went way, way up. They had this huge bull run, and then they started dropping back. And when they did, I was able to buy some more Bitcoins in the lower price range. And I doubt we'll ever see $500 Bitcoins again. And I was, man, back in 2015, dudes, I was buying every single Bitcoin I could get my hands on because I knew $200 Bitcoins they were just something that were going to be around for a while and then gone. But, and I was most certainly right. But now, 776 in the future, that's going to be cheap. There's no way we're going to keep it under $1,000 through 2016. There's no way. And as we come into this next economic recession we're in it right now and we're dropping down into it. Over the next 3 years, between now and 2019, things should be getting steadily worse, as they usually do. And then, right around 2019, sometime in 2019, the conventional economy should bottom out, and the worst of the carnage, the worst of the bank failures, brokerage failures, stock market crashes, currency collapses, government reactions like in Venezuela with their massive money printing and their capital controls and their bank bail-ins and their basically all of that stuff should be mostly done by sometime in 2019. And at that point, between now and 2019, things like gold and silver and Bitcoin should continue to appreciate. Should it continue to go up? The environment that we're currently in should continue until then. And then, but it's going to get a lot worse, and people are going to really start panicking, and then really, really scared, frightened fortunes that are being held by people who used to be multi-millionaires. They're going to be frantically running around looking for safety as basically institution after institution collapses and goes bankrupt, and they get 30% of their money back, and then they put it into something else, and then it crashes and they lose another 60%. People like that are going to be panicking, and they represent a lot of money, more money than Bitcoin has currently in its market cap. And when that occurs, the price of Bitcoins is just going to go through the roof. I mean, it really looks like this could be something like another dot-com boom back in the 90s, between 96 and 2000 or something like that. There was just this massive run-up in tech stocks, right? And then people were just going crazy with buying those things. And what we're in right now isn't even the hype. This is the basic time before the hype really began. And when the hype hits, we're going to see doubling and tripling and quadrupling of Bitcoins, and it should get really, really dramatic. And this could be my ticket out of the workforce and into a life where I just do whatever the fuck I want all day. And that's nirvana. I mean, my life is pretty darn good right now. I mean, I have zero complaints. I do a job that I enjoy. I mean, it's still work, you know. I mean, but if I'm gonna work, at least I can fix things. That's my joy, you know. But man, if I could just work whenever I want, and then just kick back and watch the clouds go by, That's a great way to close out your life. And live like 40 years of peace and prosperity and total zero stress. Dudes, that's the way to go. But even if you don't think that you have enough money to benefit from this, I suggest you buy at least one Bitcoin. If you can get into one Bitcoin in 4 or 5 years, that could be valuable enough to actually retire on, if things go as crazy as I think they might. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to, if you haven't gotten into this yet, man, it's only about 780 or so. I would highly recommend doing so. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I got to get my butt to work, and don't get married.